Hello, hello. Hi, Luv Buds. It's me, it's your girl, Angel. And I am going to be joined shortly by Miss C. Imani Williams, who is an awesome Luv Bud and the author of Root Work. Hey, Eclectic Coffee Shop, I see you. Thank you for joining. I'm super, super duper excited. We are talking about mental health because today month is Mental Health Awareness Month. Okay, so we don't want to neglect that because what we have to do every day is deal with our mental health, our spiritual, our emotional well-being goes into our mental health. And at Luv Enlightens, we really super duper support that, and that we're just not emotional beings or physical beings, but we are spiritual beings. And when we take care of our spiritual health, that helps us with our decision making, which will embolden our emotional health and our mental health. Okay. Hey, Roland, I appreciate you being here too. What's up? Yes. So this is just beautiful. This is all love. My full name is Angela Sharice Alley, and some of you know me by Angela Sharice, but I want you to know that God changed my name, and I am going now by Angel. I have to own it. I really have to own it that God changed my name. And actually, it's not so much of a change because my father named me Angela Sharice to mean Angel of Love. And I have gone closer to that, and God has shown to me what he meant for my life. I be crying, y'all, because just when I think about the goodness of God and how awesome things have been, even during the trials and tribulations and the things to get through, it is good to still be able to go through and have joy. And I have learned God to be my sanctuary. During times, good times and bad times, it's beautiful to be able to have God as my sanctuary. One thing is, you see me bouncing around with this here phone, and I'm going to try to get it settled. I wanted to go on with on my phone, but I was not able to do that. And I'm sorry, I said my phone. I'm on my phone, but I really wanted to be on my computer. But I was having some technical difficulty. So you know what we do? Go right on around it. We got to go right on around it. Can you relate? Come on, wave back to me if you know how can relate to that. I'm sure you can. So, Ricky Sewell, that's you. You know what? While I'm waiting for Imani, I want to hear from you, Ricky. How have you been? And what has encouraged you to join today? I would surely like to know. So I'm still waiting for Imani, and I trust that she'll be coming on at any minute. Can you bear with me while I work on fixing this little minor problem? And to me, it is a minor problem compared to all the things that we do go through and endure. So I bought this beautiful, lovely tripod, and I'm going to put it in position so that you guys can see me. Forgive me. Bear with me, y'all. It's almost over. Bear with me. There we go. This is called working under stress. When there is a will, there is a way. I have the will to be here, to fight through, and to make Luv Enlightens possible. Luv Enlightens was conceived in 2011. Really started out probably earlier than that for me. I've always believed in the beauty of humanity and have been grieved in spirit by a lot of the times when we're not in harmony with one another. And so for myself, I deeply want to harmonize humanity. And the way I see that is through God's eyes is first acknowledging that we are all children of God. We are all made in the likeness and the image of God. All of us. My brown skin, me as a woman, you as a man or woman, and I accept trans. I love y'all. I love everybody. And that's my goal. And my belief, it is for us to learn to love one another, just as God has given to us. Our greatest commandment is to love one another. Love God, ourselves, and one another. And how do we do that? We start learning all the things about mercy, forgiveness, and grace, and fortitude and endurance and stuff as we really push in more and more to love, to perfect love, to have love perfected in us, and so that we can give love more perfectly to ourselves, to our loved ones, to a stranger, to a person in need. When you really love, you show up. You show up. And that's what's most important, is to show up. Okay? So I'm here, and I thank you for showing up. I'm still looking for our girl. I'm going to have to send her a little message and see what is going on, so that we can get her here on the thing. She might be trying to join in too. In the meantime, I'm just going to keep on talking with you, okay? Because this is important, okay? As you see, I'm wearing the t-shirt, Luv Enlightens, and t-shirt, Expression Beats Depression. I came up with this saying because I'm someone who has dealt with depression most of my life. I've come to realize it has been depression-based. I had asthma as a child, started at 4. I was diagnosed, and from what I've learned is that asthma comes from being anxious, which is also connected to mental health, right? We know that. And later in life, in my teens, I developed some strange, it's now becoming more common, I realize, called angioedema. And the doctor told me it was coming up in me because of stress. Okay. I was suppressing things. I was holding things in. I was sitting on my voice. I was not allowing myself to speak. Whether someone told me don't speak anymore or not, I was stuffing things in. That was my coping mechanism as a child. Hello, Gypsy Glamour. I appreciate you being here. We're talking about Expression Beats Depression, and sharing my history with depression and anxiety. Depression and anxiety is something we all go through, so we can all have compassion for one another when we see somebody else going through that. Okay? Compassion is key. Compassion is key, y'all. Where's my Bible? I need to have my Bible out. Okay, so here we go. We have Imani coming. I'm going to be talking about compassion more in the next coming days or weeks, and probably ongoing, no joke. Because compassion, as the Bible has given to us, comes from not only people who we know, it comes from strangers. It's beautiful what the word says about that. It's been illuminated to me, and I want to give it to you too. So I have a request coming through, and is that this is my first time doing a live. Hey, Imani, what's up, girl? How you doing?
Sis,
Hey, Luv Bud.
had to find you. I'm fine. How are you?
I'm awesome. I'm wonderful. I'm feeling great.
Good.
How are you?
Good. Good.
Yes.
Had to find you.
I'm glad you did. I was here waiting for you
Yeah,
and looking for you no matter what. I said,
I
I know
know.
she's coming. I know.
So,
I'm
ignore my DMs
okay. Yeah,
that are
let me
waiting
check.
for you.
We
Just ignore those.
been waiting for this time, and I thank you for joining. And let me just take a minute to introduce you. And this time I've introduced myself and Luv Enlightens, and shared our purpose of this meeting is to talk about mental health awareness.
Yeah.
And as I said before, it's going to be a candid conversation. But for those who are on and who will come onto this later, I want you to introduce you to the beautiful, amazing see Imani Williams. Can we see your face a little bit more? I see that beautiful painting behind you, sis, and I know you push this
Yeah.
feminine mystique. I want to see your face. Yeah,
There we
there you
go.
are. And more
Hi.
of you. I want more of you. Imani, oh, for y'all who don't know, I've just gotten to get to know her more. She and I, we met in 2013, Independence Day, wasn't it? And that's going to say something. Thank you, Lord.
It was around there, yeah.
It was it was because that was a festival at Target downtown in downtown LA at the African American Museum. It was Target was doing
Yeah.
like a fundraising thing, and they had called for vendors. And I was a vendor out there with Luv Enlightens t-shirts. And you were a vendor out there, as you are an entrepreneur as well, sharing your love. And you had the Annie Lee collections and some other, your ear art, which she does ear art. This is one of hers, okay? Black Lives Matter. What you see her wearing is her ear art. She has other beautiful, wonderful pieces. It was hard for me to choose which one because we've been supporting each other throughout the year. Since 2013 to 2022, we are here. And it's been a beautiful, growing
Yeah.
relationship. We really connected over when Imani saw this T-shirt that with the title "Expression Beats Depression." She saw it, and when we just ended up getting to talking about mental health. Hey! And Valentine's Day, I got a chance to meet her again in person after all these years. I think that was our first time after 9 years, huh?
Yeah.
Actually,
We
yeah.
had planned some intermittent things, and then, I moved from California to Nevada to Las Vegas, and so that held us up, and then COVID held us up. But you know what? When we connected this year, it was right on time.
And
Right? Because we've been in contact. We've been in contact, virtually and on the phone. But to see you again in person,
yeah,
that was beautiful.
it was beautiful. And it was on Valentine's Day. Look, we done met on Independence Day, getting independent, and we met again
How
on
about that?
and then we meet again on Valentine's Day, the day to share love. Okay, come on, Jesus. I'm
How about
excited about
that?
that. And I didn't even realize it had been 9 years that we hadn't even physically seen each other until then. We have really been connected in spirit, and I'm very, very thankful. Very thankful for you.
Yeah.
Uh,
Hey, same
so
here.
I want you guys to know I've gotten to know more of her. She blessed me with her book, Root Work, Triumph Over Trauma. This is something Imani has been working on for quite a while. She is a gifted, talented poet, and I really understood it. I listened to it, and I appreciated you sharing your trials, the things that have been difficult for you over your lifetime. And if it's okay, I'd like to share with people because you weren't afraid to share it. And I think that's one.
Yeah, please. If it helps someone else,
That's right.
then that's wonderful. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's why I believe in transparency. There ain't no sense in ducking and shotting and hiding what we've been through. Not if we're trying to come out of it and get to the other side of it.
that's right.
So
That's right.
I don't mind sharing. Absolutely, go right
Yeah.
ahead.
So you shared about being sexually molested, being fingered by your grandfather, what that meant. You know, I, when I heard that, it struck me, and the way you develop it and share with it in your story. You have woven it in such a way that mm, you can hear the pain. I can hear your child self. I hear your adult self. I hear you as an observer and the one who's experiencing it as well. And also trying to understand all the other people in your life, your father, your mother, your sister, um, the closeness that you had. I love hearing you say mommy. I love hearing you say daddy because you still sound like a little girl on those things that has this very enduring love for your parents. And that kind of sparkle that you always feel like mommy and daddy are always going to protect me. And I can always go to mommy and daddy for everything. And I could feel how painful it's been for you. I know we've talked over the years about your grief about losing your mother and your father, but I heard it on a whole different other level from hearing your voice.
And that just meant so much. And then how trying to understand your own sexuality when your first experience was robbed and taken from you. I don't think people understand that. You're giving me strength to tell my own experience. I was fondled by a woman who I loved and trusted, and yes, she was from the church. And where's my box of Kleenex? Lord knows I need my tissue with me. God help me. Thank you. I got one little tissue. I'm sure I'll be running out to get the box. But you know, I thought about it, and I haven't shared this with you. So we just being candid. You know,
Right.
what that meant. You know, am I a lesbian? Am I bisexual? Because my first excited experience related to my sexuality, that awakening, came from a thief. Whether she knew it or not,
Mm-hmm.
it was something that was taken.
And we have to talk about that, and the fact that you say that this happened from someone that was in the church.
Uh-huh.
That adds so many different layers to it in terms of how most people that have been experienced abuse respond.
Yes.
So you got, you know, you already have this power dynamic of it being an adult.
Mm-hmm.
Now you have it situational,
Mm-hmm.
environmental,
Yes.
culturally. You're supposed to, you know, stay in a child's place. So all of this digs at, you know, at our spirits,
Yeah.
right? Until it's addressed. Um, yeah.
Yeah. And what just came to me when you said that is, how do we form boundaries? How we form boundaries even as a child, because we're talking to people who are adults, who are the ones who we have entrusted with giving us direction. So
Yes.
if they are unwell and unhealthy, and they're passing on something that is unwell and unhealthy, then this is also part of the root work of uprooting
Mm-hmm.
that
Mm-hmm.
which was uh I'm going to say a sin. When I say a sin, it's like, yeah, it was a sin. There was a seed that was not planted. And there's a scripture in the book of Matthew somewhere I read, as Jesus answered and said, any seed that was not planted by my Father will be plucked up from the root. And I love that, because I'm like, okay, God, you see, you know, it's not for me to hold it against you, what other people did. I see that you know that I was abused or this was wrong. And you're going to pluck that sickness, that disease, or that part out of me. And that's the encouraging part, to be able to share with somebody else as well.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So tell me and tell more what you want, Miss Imani, about yourself, about this root work, what you've been doing then and now. I thank you for wearing Luv Enlightens. So come on.
Thank you. I love my tea. I love my tea. Yes, all of them.
Yeah.
Love and light. Um, you know, even as a healer, I am still on the healing journey for myself.
Mm.
I think it's an ongoing process. I think that there are levels and layers to it. So I am still growing. I am still learning. There is so much, you know, if we tie it into current events and cultural affairs, so much going on um,
Mm-hmm.
right now in 2022 that bears addressing on a community level, on a village level.
Yes.
We just cannot continue to spin in circles.
Mm-hmm.
And so I am someone who has a long and a strong history of community organizing,
Mm-hmm.
of social justice work, of human justice work, and fighting not only for myself and my rights as um, a woman first, a black woman, a queer black woman who's a grandmother charged with making sure certain things are in place for the babies and future generations.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I take it all very seriously,
Yeah.
and I really don't separate it. Like community is community, right?
Mm-hmm.
These are people, and that we work with and work together in concert with, to change things for the better and to keep people safe and protected. And I think um, that as I am charged with not only living my passion, but living what I believe my purpose is, why God has me here, why God kept me and brought me through so much,
Yes.
is to be a service, is to help others recognize that I don't care what you've been through, doesn't matter. You matter.
Mm-hmm.
You matter. Doesn't matter what you've been
That's
through.
right.
You matter.
That's right.
What do you want? What does making it look better look like and feel like to you? Let's talk about that.
Yes.
And let's see where we can get you plugged in. Because I have to believe that there are more people concerned with well-being for themselves and for our communities
Mm-hmm.
than what is actually shown across the media and throughout media on a daily basis. Right before we got on, I was um, I was watching some news. I watch it here. I watch the Vegas news, and I always watch news at home.
Mm-hmm.
But I ended up on a Houston station, and they were showing this broadcast from Detroit, where earlier this week, I guess these two young sisters met up at a gas station to do a clothing exchange, and it went bad. I mean, it turned left really quick. So one of the sisters got, enraged, got back in her car, ran over one of the girls, drove around the gas pumps, came back through and hit two more cars. And then got her baby out the back seat of the car and was walked off.
Jesus.
I I can't explain any of that. But I do know that if you are on the opposite end of that
Mm-hmm.
transaction gone bad,
Yeah.
you will now think twice about meeting anybody anywhere about anything. So these
Right.
are these trauma causing situations that we just have to really think about everything right now.
Yeah.
How we move out here in these streets.
Yeah.
There are clearly, some folks with a lot of anger management and some issues that they have not worked through
Mm-hmm.
that leave their home and go out, and you just don't need to add that to everything else.
Mm-hmm.
So I just think we need to have some real heart to heart conversations, um, just about how to get from point A to B.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think there is a lot going on in all of our hearts and minds, and it is very overwhelming and stressful for all of us around the world. I think we're all feeling a certain amount of stress, especially since COVID. It has brought things up. When you say community is community, I want you to expound on that for me, because what I see is that people don't realize that we are all neighbors, that we are all neighbors in a global community. We share one earth. We have one home. Nobody has stock in the earth. Everybody has equal right in terms of what we deposit and put into the earth, because we are taking so much back. And how we treat each other is affecting the whole thing. I think the ecosystem is off because we are missing how to treat one another. And expression-based depression came out because, not only because of my own experience, and I found I got to express myself to beat depression. It was also, I learned from it that, and I wanted to impart to other people, is that you have to express yourself in a healthy way to avoid imploding or exploding. Because trying to hold things down too much and suppress it in our voice, and it starts getting into our system, into our skin, and it starts coming out in real foul, nasty, whether it be disease or we're snapping at people. And certain things, a wrong is a wrong. A wrong is a wrong, you know? Point blank, period. I'm glad you really emphasize you care about all people because I know you do. I do too. So it's more about the character, you know. And we talk about the police. I'm upset about. I love the police. I know the police are necessary. I'm not even going to say that any kind of community needs to go without it because we do have people who implode and explode. We need some people who are trained to be able to go out there with compassion and with impartiality, serving communities.
Serving.
And they are in
I'm
situations.
get that.
Very
Right.
situations. But you have to serve and serve people and keep people. And this is for everybody. When we are in a position, someone told me before, every job that you do is in service to someone else. You're not doing the job just for you get a paycheck, but the job is a service to someone else.
Right.
That was a transformative thought because I realized person at the grocery store, anything. You're serving somebody else.
For anything.
Mhm.
I just went on a interview for I was interviewing to be a wedding officiant with a chapel, and I got there and it turned out that they were actually making this one position 3. They were only paying you for 1. And I said, you know what? I thank you for your time today, but I'm going to excuse myself because I want to enjoy marrying people. I would be so angry at myself doing a job for doing 3 jobs for 1 pay for what this chapel was offering wedding officiants.
Come on.
I said no, thank you.
Yeah.
No, thank you. I'm with one. And then I do my private ones, and so I'll be fine.
Yeah.
So in being of service, because that is that I take that role very seriously. In being of service, anytime we say that we are what we're doing to bring us fulfillment inside, we have to enjoy it, and I want to enjoy doing that. So whatever job it is that people do, I'm hoping that they can find something that brings them some fulfillment in their line of service, so that it does not become something that one resents.
Yes. Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate that. I have something that I read today. God led me to, and I want to share it here. Okay, it's a random reading. It comes from this book, Words of Courage and Confidence. Words of Courage and Confidence by Sue Peton Thoel. And honestly, I hadn't read this book, and I've been going through my books. Hey, Sharice, I appreciate you being here, girl. But I opened it up today. God led me to this, and this is the page that I opened it up to. Page 88, Double New Beginnings, Double Portion of a New Beginning. Come on. All right. Editing out guilt. Women are plagued by feelings of guilt. But I learned an interesting thing recently. Guilt is a strictly English word. No other Germanic or Indo-European language has it. We need to follow the lead of these other cultures and edit the word guilt and guilt feelings out of our lives. Feeling guilty drains our confidence and becomes a habit if we have been conditioned to be overly responsible for our own and others' behaviors and attitudes. Millie, a client in her mid-50s, came to see me because she felt depressed most of the time. As we talked, it became apparent that Millie was a responsibility sponge who sopped up everyone's messes. While discussing her unemployed 30-year-old son, Millie sighed repeatedly and said, "I wonder where I failed." When I asked her why it was her fault her son was not working, she looked at me with surprise and said, "Well, because I'm his mother." Exploring Millie's background uncovered a family structure built on guilt and shame. Because of her conditioning, Millie got in the habit of assuming responsibility for everything and everyone around her. Yep. I just want to say, put a pin in that and say, can you relate? Does this touch on you in any way.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Since she,
A lot of millies out here.
come on, but that, yeah,
Married themselves because they didn't say no.